Hi everyone, my name is Jared Day. I'm a product manager here at Clozd, and this is Missy Russell.
Hi, I'm one of the software engineering managers at Clozd.
We're really excited to talk about AI Interviewer today. Missy, at Clozd, we care so much about collecting feedback from our customers.
It's our job.
We've provided a lot of ways to do that. We have our live interviews where customers can be interviewed by a human being and actually go through providing their feedback to our clients. Those are really awesome in providing in-depth insights. However, they're harder to scale, harder for someone to share live interviews to a broader audience and collect a lot of feedback. We also have surveys that you can send to thousands of people. That's kind of the opposite end of the spectrum, right?
Yeah.
But we all know that people spend maybe 15 seconds filling out a survey. So the level of feedback and insights that you're getting are probably not as good as they are with a live interview. We also have our flex interviews, right? Or our async interviews. Those are the interviews where we record a question and someone can respond through video or audio and provide feedback that way. Those have been really effective in kind of balancing the scale and depth of insights. But we also know that sometimes our customers, they don't always provide a lot of detail in their responses, and we want to ask follow-up questions. But you can't do that today with a pre-recorded question. So with AI Interview, we're excited to introduce the ability to get depth and scale. AI Interviewer will be able to ask follow-up questions on top of our Flex interviews for those moments when you're wanting a little more information. I'd really love to let people see how it works. You want to walk us through it?
I'd love to. Okay, right now I'm in our Flex builder within our platform. Here I have created a very basic Flex interview with a single custom question and an intro. I'm going to walk through how you can turn on follow-up interview questions with a Flex interview. So first, here in the upper left-hand corner, we have the settings selection. When you scroll down, we have a new section that has context for AI. This is a prompt that you can provide to add general guidance to your AI interviewer throughout the entirety of your Flex interview. Here I've already added a prompt. I've added, you are interviewing clients who have purchased and implemented new tax software. Your objective is to deeply understand what went well with the implementation process and what did not go well. The feedback will help us improve the implementation process with future customers. So this is the prompt that I've added that will be used throughout my entire Flex interview. Once you've added some context, you can then select exactly what questions you would like to provide a follow-up question with. So here with one of my custom questions, here on the right-hand side, I've turned on AI follow-up question. So now this specific question will have an AI follow-up. If you don't turn this on, it will not have an AI follow-up question. I've added additional guidance, which you can provide to the individual question of what you would like the AI interviewer to focus on. So here I've added, if the customer says something didn't go well, then follow up to really understand specific details so we can improve next time. Once I've turned this on, I can send out my Flex interview and I will now get follow-up questions from each of the responses for this question. It's as simple as that.
That sounds really simple. Very cool.
It is.
So tell me, how many questions will the AI interviewer generate per question?
It's currently 1, but we are planning on moving that up to 3 in the near future so that you can customize it to get as many follow-up questions as you would like.
And I noticed with those prompts, maybe I'm new to writing prompts and trying to find out how best to do that. Where can we find information to effectively write prompts?
That's a great question. It can be tricky to write good prompts. So we have a resource online and you can look in our help center and find that article. You can also find a lot of resources online. There's so many resources on how to write good prompts that you can utilize to help with your prompt writing here.
Cool. That was an awesome setup. Should we show them what the interview looks like?
Let's do it.
Okay. All right, I'm going to take the interview experience that you just created, Missy. So I'll click in to get started. I first see the question you recorded and I'll play that.
How did the tax software implementation meet the objectives outlined at the beginning of the project?
Okay. So in this Flex interview, I'll go ahead and turn on the video and record a response to your question. The implementation process was pretty smooth. We had awesome support. The communication was very clear. We did have some issues importing our data, but ultimately we were able to overcome that. And overall, I felt like it was a really good experience. So I'm going to stop recording and submit my response. And as I do that, I'm alerted that the AI is now generating a follow-up question based on my response. It'll think through the details of what information I've given, and then you can see here that it has come up with a new question for me to answer. I'll go ahead and play the question it generated.
You mentioned having some issues importing your data. Can you elaborate on what those specific challenges were and how you overcame them?
So you can see I mentioned that there were some issues importing my data. I didn't give a lot of detail. The AI followed up and is trying to really focus in on those details that are going to really help our clients understand how they can improve. Pretty fun.
This is great. It's very exciting. So I have some questions for you. What is the AI considering when it's generating its follow-up question?
The AI interviewer will take into account the previous question and response given, of course. It's also taking into consideration the full interview up until that point, along with that extra context that you had provided in the beginning.
That's very smart.
Yeah.
How long does it take for the AI to generate a follow-up question?
Just like speaking with a human being, it'll take a few seconds.
Is the customer allowed to skip the follow-up question?
Yeah. Once they see the question generated from the AI interviewer, they always have that option to skip and move on. That's great. Awesome. So after this interview experience, I assume a transcript is created? Yeah, you assume correctly. It is generated just like any other transcript that we have from interviews, where you can read the full transcript and see all of the responses. The only difference is the AI question has a little sparkle, and that's how you know it was an AI follow-up question. From there, though, we generate the same insights, we pull the same drivers, we pull the same tags. It's treated just like any other question and response, and we use that to supplement the data in your program. That's awesome. So tell me, where do you see us using Flex interviews with the AI interviewer outside of win-loss? Obviously, win-loss is a great use case, but we know that there's a lot of other opportunities to collect feedback in a customer's journey. We have clients who are collecting feedback during post-implementation, maybe at a mid-contract. We have customers collecting feedback for product research. Really, there's a lot of different opportunities to use this type of interview. Even talking to one customer recently who's using it with internal sales reps to collect feedback. So a lot of use cases. That's exciting. It really is. So Missy, how can people get a hold of this thing? If you're already using Flex interviews, you already can get access. Just talk to your program manager. We're already providing it for anyone who has implemented Flex interviews in their program. So if you're not using Flex interviews, it's a great opportunity to try it out. That's awesome. I'm really excited for people to try this and appreciate you taking some time to walk us through it. Yeah, you're welcome.